Number 3 grand final between TNC and FNATIC. Black, I want to ask you, you favored FNATIC for a draft in game number 2, and they still weren't able to close out the game, which makes me think it must be a little bit more down to the
10 seconds to
execution.
go.
So what do you think is the conversation that's happening down there for the team right now?
5 seconds.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm a little bit worried. They had a very one-sided game in the first
Radiant's
one.
pick.
Second one, they had a pretty strong draft against what TNC drafted, but they
Dire's
still
pick.
didn't manage to close it out despite being given a lot of chances by like a lot of circumstances, right? Like Gabby, the first feed mid lane with that Aegis was pretty bad by them, and then the Centaur, then another team wipe, but they just still lost the game ultimately, and that must feel really bad because you don't
10
really have much
seconds
time
to
to talk
go.
about it. Now you're down 2-0.
Yeah, guys, if you were in that
5
position,
seconds.
what do you think you would be saying to the team or thinking about to make sure that, you know, you're not getting, I guess, too tilted in this series?
Yeah, I imagine there is at least some level of tilt and also definitely nerves. Death on the offlane has not looked as good as he did earlier in the tournament. He was like having amazing games, and this best of 5 so far, it feels like he's been shut down. I think what you got to say is, you know, you got to probably hype everyone up in a way where you don't play too scared because you're down 2-0. At this point, it's like, we're down 2-0. The only way you're going to win 3 games in a row is if you start playing with confidence
Dire's
and start
pick.
taking the game to TNC. Like, they can still pick late games
Radiant's
and play their carries and play their FNATIC style, but
sack.
they can't like second guess themselves and play, you know, like play in a way where they just give TNC whatever they want.
Yeah, time to enter question mark mode.
I am hoping, you know, something a little bit different does
Radiant's
come
banned.
out from them, maybe something unexpected. But one thing that's not unexpected is that Broodmother and the
Dire's
TA ban
banned.
from them. They're definitely not going to let that one through, and instead they're going to do the, I guess, the equivalent of what TNC did in the first game, and they're going to second pick that Terrorblade. They really want to pick it up in conjunction with the Lion, and then the TNC going for a really standard but strong looking Leshrac and Abaddon.
10 seconds to go.
The evolution of the draft. Game 1 was Game 2
5
it was
seconds.
more FNATIC, but now they're going with what they love the most, the strongest suit.
Radiant's banned.
Terrorblade, Raven, probably his best hero, not entirely sure, but one of the best for sure. And they're gonna go all in into the Terrorblade basket.
What are you expecting to come? You know, we talked about Death, so what are you expecting to come from him for the offlane that could pair quite well for
10
this
seconds
Terrorblade
to go.
in space?
The Legion would always, I mean, you played it first
5
game. Legion
seconds.
PB is just insanely good. The press the attack with the Aghanim shard is just so good at enabling this hero. It gives you a save as well, and that's something which Lion does not bring to the table. Lion does a lot of things, but
Dire's
doesn't have any
banned.
real defensive capabilities, so that's the hero that stands out to me. But otherwise, I think you're gonna maybe wait and see. Maybe they'll wait to see what TNC picks up for their carry, or at least their mid, to make sure that he does get a good matchup.
Yeah, if you pick your carry early like this, you are expecting it to
10
get
seconds
countered,
to
but it
go.
also leaves your own offlaner slash mid laner to counter the enemy's
5
draft.
seconds.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Legion Commander come out because Death didn't have that game that he wanted in game 1, and we know that he can play it Legion Commander absolutely to a T. So it would be nice
Radiant's
again to stay on
banned.
that comfort, but just have a better supporting draft to enable him to do some things.
Yeah, I feel like as though they need to come out of the early game strong here. Like they need some sort of confidence boost, because after these 2 losses, there must be, you know, some sort of uneasiness in
10
the room.
seconds to go.
And a good early game would definitely help alleviate that.
Do you not think they had a
5
pretty good
seconds.
early game in game 2? I feel like they did for the laning phase, and then they just
They
really
did.
struggled when they came out of it.
And then they still lost though. So now probably the
Yeah.
spirits aren't as high. They're also, I believe, not in the boot camp, right? I think DJ was at home
That
when we
is
interviewed him
something
yesterday.
No idea. It looks like it, but
Yeah.
do you think that has
Dire's
more of an
banned.
impact on this than maybe we are considering?
I mean, it's hard to rally the troops, right? When everyone is at their own home. Like, just nothing feels the same. Like, imagine you're all sitting in a circle and we're talking, or we're talking over the mic. You know, David, if I was right next to you, you would be much more inspired by what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
10
I'm just like,
seconds
you're,
to go.
you're over there, you know, in Romania. I'm just like, Flex was saying it. It's smart.
5
Exactly.
seconds.
Who is that dork? Look at him.
Good words being said over the mics here.
I know. I can't even be like, well, Black, you called me out. Let's go. Let's take this out back. No.
Yeah. I'm safe behind my screen. I'm keyboard warrior. What do you want to do, bro?
Absolutely love it.
Dyer's
But
pick.
I thought potentially there was going to be a tie
Radiant's pick.
for FNATIC. But they made it themselves.
Brewmaster. All right. That is the China response to a Terrorblade generally, because you can dispel all the illusions. You can just cyclone him up, and as we said, this timing of Aghamon's Refresher on Brewmaster is really deadly for Terrorblade.
10 seconds to go.
I was wondering if it would go the Darkseer again, because Dax is a hero that actually matches up pretty
5
well against
seconds.
TB, but it's a similar idea. It's another hero. You're going to probably see another Aghanim's Rush. They played it against Boom and had great success with this fast tempo play. TNC is basically saying, yeah, we don't want to go necessarily 50, 60 minutes against FNATIC. Yeah, last game did, but that was not necessarily their plan going in. They're looking for these more tempo kind of drafts.
Yep, you said it, and then they're gonna last pick Arc Ward, and then we're gonna be like,
Yeah, that's true. That was what FNATIC did against the TB, was the Arc Warden.
yeah.
Gabby, not as well known for his Arc Warden, perhaps, but
What
play it.
of his heroes are really good
Dyer's
against
pick.
the Terrorblade? The PA is terrible. Drow Ranger could work. I pick up the Phoenix, okay. Extra health for the Terrorblade. Good team fight. They don't really have a good egg hitter at all, because after Brewmaster splits, of course, he can't hit the egg at all.
10
Like, this is
seconds
not
to
possible.
go.
They could just pick the Mirana if they're worried about that. They do need a 4 position,
5
but they
seconds.
also don't have that many stuns. I'm
Yeah.
actually preferring FNATIC's draft a lot right now. Yeah, this Brewmaster pick looks nice, but I just feel like they've ticked more boxes. They have the line for the disabled,
Radiant's pick.
Phoenix Supernova for the team fight, and TNC.
Ah, there we go, baby. No
We
stuns.
talked about it so
Yeah.
much. And they're gonna
You don't have stuns, you need the boy.
Yep, there you go. You know, you talked about the fact that they might not have that capsulette
10 seconds to go.
lockdown, and they're like, well, they're 100% surely going to go for the old 10-second
5
shackle.
seconds.
Oh, Shaman.
Lion is the better Shaman, that's why he gets picked first, but Shaman is like, I got this too, what do you want? And it
TNC
fits
wanna-
pretty well into this push draft.
Yeah, PNC want to prove that they don't need the Phoenix and that maybe Shaman is on the same level as Lion.
Yeah, but Egg Killer, question mark? None of these can do it. The last pick will have to be some sort of Egg Killer, because otherwise you just can't really play team fights ever. If you have to run every time there's an egg, it's not a good sign.
So Arc Warden then is one.
Arc Warden is okay. You know me, Naga Siren.
You're such a big fan of that, Naga. You really want to see it.
Dude, every time China plays it, they do so well with it.
Yeah.
And it has been an SEA hero historically, but not anymore.
Radiant's banned.
Well, what other sort of, I guess they would want to be doing for someone
Death
range,
Prophet.
right? On the TNC side to try and get these eggs, because
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Drow Ranger right now. I think that makes the most sense, but FNATIC has 2 bans. See what they think is best for TNC.
10
DB
seconds to
Phoenix
go.
Terrorblade
Dyer's
draft is very
banned.
scary. We have said it many times in the past. Death Prophet Terrorblade combo is almost unbeatable in team fights. Like, you can't fight into Exorcism and Metamorphosis in mid game. It's just too much damage. It's not possible to fight into. If Phoenix Egg on top of that, no chance.
FNATIC don't want
10
that
seconds
Arc
to
Warden
go.
to come out. They don't want to go to
Yeah.
that extreme late game. So
5
how,
seconds.
I'm curious with the Drow Ranger into Death Prophet matchup for late game, like around team fighting. How did they sort of go against each other?
It's pretty decent. It's not the best, because now Death Prophet can be built into like Blink, even overwhelming Blink. You can get on top of him. But in this mid game, it's very hard for DP to play against Raw Ranger.
For TNC, I feel like they are going to be forced into a carry that's just not like it's similar. It kind of reminds me of Game 2, where it feels like, you know, draft-wise, FNATIC seem to have a slight edge, but TNC just find ways to play their draft so well. I feel like they may just have to say, we can't get an egg hitter. Let's just, if they use Supernova, we just disengage. Same. These 3 ultimates: Exorcism, Supernova, Metamorphosis. Run the hell away and then fight them when they're down. That to me is TNC's best.
Radiant's
This
banned.
series as well, they've been showing a lot more of that restraint to be able to make the calls of when they don't want to engage, when they don't want to keep pushing, when they think they might be overextending. They've shown in these 2 games, so I think that is going to be the way that they end up going. it's something that's been
Dire's
working for them.
banned.
It's won them the first 2 games. They know they have that communication in the team. But you're not going to see the Draw Ranger get picked.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the heroes I like are getting banned out. What a shame. I just hope we don't see a Wraith King. I feel like if they pick Wraith King, this game is just almost auto lost on
10
draft.
seconds to go.
Which a lot of people have been falling back to. Like a
5
Siren.
seconds.
Something fast pace that can punish these long cooldowns, I feel. Also, like as we saw last game, something that ideally takes
Radiant's
Ursa. Like, I
pick.
wouldn't mind just like an Ursa again. That
Look, gods. You say disengage, I say Naga Siren. We're on the same page here.
it's not
I mean-
like a go-to for Gabby, but it's doable.
Yeah, potentially. Okay, what other heroes does he really like though? I think the Drow's out. Juggernaut
10
potentially
seconds to
matches
go.
up terribly against DP and TB though. What else is
5
the
seconds.
Morphling? Could work,
Yeah.
but against the Lion Phoenix?
How much of TNC's draft right now is really Roche orientated, right? Because maybe that's just not what they're going to go for this.
Like
game.
0?
Yeah, so maybe they are
I just
going to
have no Roach at all.
on that team fight, the disengage aspect a lot more.
So, Black, by the way, the last time Gabby played Naga Siren was 12
Dire's
months
pick.
ago.
Okay. Probably not going to be seeing it then, especially not against the Pangolier.
Yeah.
Ui. This looks like a very solid draft. What do you got, TNC? I feel like you gotta go something like a Morphling. There's something that can snowball really hard and carry you.
10 seconds to go.
I like more for Ursa. I think those are the two. That's me, but
5
That's
seconds.
just
a tough
pretty
draft.
scary against these heroes.
We've seen Morphling before.
Yeah, many times actually. Hasn't been popular in this qualifier, but historically a very good qualifier hero. What about Medusa? No. Nah. Too slow. Could work though. Would give a lot of team fight.
Yep.
And you have Shaman to push towers.
TNC are definitely pushing the timer for this choice. They are going to
Take your
go.
Good call, Black. They just had nothing better. It's not a hero that has been a go-to, but at the same time, Gabby did make PA work, so he's going to try to do the same for the Morphling here.
Yep.
And lane-wise, I do like this a lot against the Pengo.
It's good, for sure. But both games, we've seen this last pick not be like the best optimal hero they could have had. It's already countered by the Lion, and the matchup generally is not easy. But they made it work last game, and Gabby is obviously a very confident player. You can see it in his playstyle. And Morphling is a hero that, if he gets off to a good start, he can just snowball these games completely out of control.
Which team do you favor then Black? And that's not just draft based, but I guess having that knowledge of how they've been playing in this series so far.
I gotta go with FNATIC again this game. I think their draft is just a little bit too solid. It's all on Gabby, really. Which,
Yep.
can he do it a second time in a row? That's my question.
Well, what do you think, guys? Do you think it's possible for him to pull it through a second time in a row?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think what we've seen from FNATIC is they're just not playing their A game here. You know, the pressure of maybe getting a TI seems to be affecting them. Similar to Black, favor FNATIC's draft. Not like him, I think TNC, it feels like there's this magic about them where they're just making these drafts work, and FNATIC just is not playing with the same amount of confidence as they have in the past.
Yeah, they seem to have almost more pocket picks, things that FNATIC aren't expecting, things that they think they should be able to. They have the confidence in the early of having that knowledge. Then when they get to this middle game, no, it just feels like TNC direction. They know. I think I am gonna here though. It's difficult to come. I'm gonna be, but again.
Easy.
Not meant to be. Poor dear.
Everybody get set.
อ้าวเสียวจังไดนี่ไหวบ่นี่
เป็นเกมที่ดี
30 seconds to go.
Two teams having a little banter back and forth about the tipping and not bullying each other. Obviously, good friends and also rivals as soon as they're in game, but friends outside of the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, even last game we saw some all chatting when the Centaur stormed, right? They were in happy spirits, all of them. I'm sure TNC was a little bit mad about it, but they could still joke about it.
And away we go.
Going out, or even getting a few himself. Japs was once asking them to, you know, stop tipping him, but nothing too crazy coming out to start this game off. It will be Lion in the 4th position role, Phoenix the 5. That's something, you know, I guess there is sometimes some switch arounds with the Lion and even the Phoenix, but
yep, it's gonna be a very different game than we've seen before. Like, the playmaking is not very obvious for TNC. That they gotta preemptively split and then run him with like a Brewmaster, try to cyclone someone, get a stun off until this Shadow Shaman gets a blink, which should be at like 15 minutes or so. It's gonna be difficult to play the map for TNC until then.
Shaman, we haven't seen this here at all. Coming out of nowhere. What can we expect from Shaman?
I mean, they just picked it as a Lion replacement, right? I'm sure if there was Lion, I would have picked that instead. But they just had a severe lack of Disable. And that's pretty much the best option you can go to. Like, if you look at the POS 4 hero pool, there's really nothing better than Lion and Shaman when it comes to just disabling heroes and enabling your own heroes to deal damage to them.
Yeah, the hero that used to be the go-to, maybe like more the Earth Spirit, has kind of fallen to the wayside. Not the go-to for anymore. Otherwise, you know, Tim's an Earth Spirit specialist. He'd be loving that hero, but supports.
Yeah, mid lane this time around. No, not reverse roles. Armel was last game too, right? No, Armel was the DP. What am I talking about?
Swap mid heroes. So last time this mid matchup was pretty even overall. So far, Armel having a bit of a sizable edge.
Yep, only missed 2 CS so far.
And good 4 denies up to his hands as well. So good start for the Leshrac. Armel, you know, perhaps punishing the newly returned mid laner. Chuan, obviously, initially a mid lane with the Master, coming back from the off lane, a little bit maybe inexperienced when it comes to the mid lane as of late. But bottom lane, a lot of harassment now. FNATIC were the ones playing aggressive, but they just they get zapped back.
Yeah, the Cinder Brew plus Clap plus the Shaman Shock is a lot of single target damage, which Terrorblade is very afraid of in the laning phase. He's sitting at 300 health right now, has to be careful. They're out of regen down here. But both couriers are coming with more regen. They should be fine.
They're very slow. It's the ignite on
Tim's?
Tim's gets stove on. DJ's going for the kill. The Fire Spirits come back up now, just as he dives in. So DJ timed this one for this aggression. Has he got the damage to hold this up? 1 or 2 more?
One more?
Doesn't get it though. He threw the Fire Spirits at Bok as well, which meant he didn't have a 3rd one to throw.
Yeah, my level 1 Fire Spirits really just don't deal any damage. They slow your attack speed by a ton. But yeah, the damage just comes in from like level 3 onwards. What is Morphling doing? Decently, but so is Death. Like, this Pangolier is really the big question mark here. It's always, this hero is very hit or miss, right? Like, either you're owning a game or you're not having very much impact at all. And it doesn't really strike me as a Death hero. Like, I haven't seen him play it a whole lot.
Yeah, not. And speaking of Polo, obviously knows him well. His fellow Singaporean.
Yeah,
not
shoot
really
him a quick message.
Can't go too much. Yeah, yeah. Let me get you all the info.
Hey, Polo, Death, Pangolier, how?
Something smart to say that I can steal. I was messaging him before the series. I was like, all right.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
All he got. Oh, what he did tell me was last time Death played TI qualifiers with him, they got last place. That's what I got.
Oh, that is a great information.
Yep. He was like, yeah, we played TI quals and Resurgence, got last place. Hopefully he does better here. Well, I mean, he already has done better here.
I saw that qualifier was a little rough ride for them. It was a Singapore-only team, which just can't work. Don't have enough players over there.
I know that feeling as an Australian.
Oh yeah.
Like we got a couple good players, but we definitely don't have 5.
Yeah. But the ones you do have, they're very successful.
Yeah. This will be one of the first years in a while without an Australian at TI, unfortunately. With Anna's retirement and KP not making it. So that's
right, yeah.
for Aussie Dota.
It's okay, there's always the next year. That's what I keep telling myself.
No breaking down the radiant structures like this.
One of my kids in trouble. The Fire's
one more hit.
time around level 2.
Nice.
They're going to go down, and yeah, mid lane, a very deep bit of pressure coming out from Xuan on the Death Prophet, playing behind the tower. Armel, so he gets that level 6, has to maybe be a bit careful here.
Yeah, and we can also see why Shaman is not really picked a whole lot. No, just out of range. He didn't get it, I think. No, he didn't get it. Armel put it too late.
And he took a lot of damage from another Crypt Storm as well. He's got a bounty.
He's going to go back to base.
To fall back to. So yeah, he's going to go back to base. Death Prophet doesn't have to go for the rune yet. It's just going to pop a clarity.
This is really bad news. Like, Terrorblade is generally a hero you want to own a lane going in on
What
the
dance is over.
How did he die? They got hexed?
Spike into Swashbuckle. And yeah, the Hex, they just changed under from the trees and Death just jumped in with the Swashbuckle.
No,
The
this is really bad news.
Timing, maybe catching him by surprise, I don't know.
Potentially. Look at the gold, it's already 2k. They're winning all 3 lanes right now. Like, Terrorblade is a hero, you want to beat a lane, he has to go jungle, right? But if he wins lane,
Nice.
it's just a
Top towers
snowball
getting
hero
beat down.
that farms faster than almost
Bonnie.
anybody in the game. And he's having a good old time. All 3 of them are.
Is this supposed to happen? Is this why no one picked Shaman because this hero's kind of weak? Or it's not like they're playing
Terrible laner. I mean, he has a good base damage, it's just his mobility is so limited. And after the Ether Shock, what does he have? Like, Phoenix just out-trades him. He can't move.
and
It's just a
Phoenix
bad
has
lion.
ability, so Phoenix can get on
Yeah.
top of you with the dive. And we saw even from the start, TB was spamming level 1 reflection for harass, so just doing everything they can to bully him.
TB is not the same old weak laner anymore with this reflection buff he received. It's actually a decent spell. It deals 100 damage every time you use it. Good movement slow for your support to hit him even more. It's a strong hero now. That's why it's picked so much.
This is the start FNATIC we're hoping for. They had it at least somewhat in game 2. I feel like this is an even bigger laning victory for them. So we'll see if there's going to be any kind of a response. As bottom lane, they're going to force the piece and dive away. The chase is on Tim's. Trying to bring him down. It's going to be Boomy elsewhere dying as Tim's back to the trees. There's another kill top for FNATIC.
Yeah.
Why Bonnie?
And Morphling already relegated to the jungle.
And
Not a good feeling. That's why you want to have Terrorblade, not Morphling.
yeah. Every time Morpheus pick up, you also have, I feel like, have to look a bit at the ulti combos. Like, is there somebody he can kind of turn into that's going to have a big impact?
Guess what's
Or is
happening
the
to
Metamorphosis
Dyer's
is the
bottom
big one this
tower?
game? Is there anything else that stands out for you?
Potentially the Lion. Like, if you get a good Impale Hex on like a DP or something, it'd be pretty impactful. But you also have to be careful, of course, if you turn to the Lion, he's right next to you, that you don't get hexed and impaled.
Your elements purged.
Good rotation from Armel. They needed something. Gotta open the map
Dyer's
up.
top tower.
Found the stack as well.
You know
It's a
the
big
drill.
stack.
Yeah, I imagine that's why the call was like, come for this kill. Even if he dives and gets away, you can take a stack and push this tower. So
Dyer might want to mine the
regardless,
top
FNATIC
tower.
make a similar
Dyer's
one up top.
lost
They
the top
rotate with the
tower.
Exorcism. Will take a T1 tower of their own.
Radiant's
And Exorcism still
bottom
running. They're
tower
going to
in
TP
pretty
mid,
sad
especially
right
this mid
now.
tier 1. They probably don't get this tower, but they can get some good damage in.
They have meta as
Dyer's
well.
mid tower
Maybe
will
they
last
do
much
this tower.
longer.
We'll see. TNC are going to have
Radiant's
to come
bottom
defend this and
tower.
pop
Here
the
goes
already.
Radiant's bottom
They
tower.
get in here in time. Fine,
They
get
have
the
Brewmaster split.
They want to fight.
That is not happening.
Like,
Gotta be careful.
ooh, very close for a hex there.
อ้าวอ้าวเสียวจังไหน
Something bad's happened to the
Unfortunately,
Radiant's
he's
courier.
struggling quite a bit on Tim's, who we said is gonna be only source of initiation.
That Swashbuckle is just half of Morgan's health
Radiant's
when he's on
toughened
low.
up their structures.
He's a javelin, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the Maelstrom
Now
first.
Courier. Yeah. Did lose his courier, not a big deal though. FNATIC will see the gold reduce. The less track farming that stack and getting the bottom tower does put Ormel actually on top again.
If they catch
Good job.
DJ here, that could be a big one as well. But they have a ward, he's sitting right on top of it. Not happening. Unless I'm not hit a split earth? No.
Min-maxing, getting as much farm and XP as he can, even with the
อ้าว
knowledge
อ้าว
that
เสียว
those
จั
heroes
ง
are
ไหน
there.
นี่ไหวบอ
So
นี่
he's already 6 now.
Tim's just gonna sentry. I think Tim's realizes like, yeah, kind of playing like he doesn't see us, but he's also playing like he does see us. So.
Yeah. An experienced support player will see that in a matter of seconds. Yeah, Armel still keeping the top of the network for now. It's a little bit scary to fight into these heroes though. We said many times how strong DP and TB are against Leshrac, because you gotta run close and personal. That's where they want you to be in order to beat you up.
Higher Radiant team fight. It's like 4 big kind of wombo combo ultimates, maybe less so the Metamorphosis, and then even Lion offering a lot of disables, but yeah. Respect the team fight.
Yeah, and Def just making the top lane his new home. Well, still home, I guess, not really new home. He almost has a Maelstrom. He's very farmed on the Pangolier.
I like how
more farmed than his Terrorblade.
Yeah, just taking this top lane. If the TB needed this top lane, he should give it up. If, like, I imagine he would have left if Raven was having a bad game, but Raven's just been free farming down bottom as well as at the Ancient Triangle, so he'll give up the lane now to TB, but getting all this farm is going to allow him to have a really nice game.
Yeah, and we have yet to see a Bruce split. He's headed for a good 3 minutes, but no chance to use it just yet.
Top gets waveformed on, but there's no real follow-up.
Yep, and Exorcism popped in the mid lane. What's the defense they can mount?
Primal Split is the big one that probably has to be committed if they want to defend this one. Tron just throws out a casual silence. Gonna deter them. Brewmaster in trouble. The finger blows him up before it can ultimate, and they've got the Rolling Thunder follow-up. They're going to catch Tim's now as well on the Shaman. Death kind of traps himself a little bit, unfortunately. Doesn't get the stun he was hoping for, and that puts Schwan in a bit of trouble on the Death Front, but he needs to start healing up. Damage coming in, but it's going to be too late.
Hasted Leshrac doing so much work. He has Phoenix Egg.
And he gets down to the low ground. He gets out of there, dodges the Split Earth. Unfortunately for Death, he just didn't get the bounces he was hoping for. Shaman kind of positioned near the wall meant that he could avoid the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Raven getting very low at the Ancients. Be careful. But you're a Terrorblade, so who cares?
It's got Possess Mask.
Oh, just Sunder me, alright. DJ team player?
Nope.
How is Gabby looking? He's actually ahead of Terrorblade in farm after this pretty bad laning phase. And yeah, gold lead back to
Radiant's top
pretty much zero.
tower's taking hits.
Wondering how that fight started. I'm surprised TNC won it.
Yeah, Hasted Leshrac is really strong though. Like, it's probably the best rule he can have.
Radiant's mid tower's
Take
getting
a on tower.
1-4.
This level 4 Edict with the Abaddon backing up Armel.
Split.
Just to run in. Yep. Death is the target. He's got a Rolling Thunder, but I don't imagine he wants to commit. He's just going to swashbuckle away. What about this split here?
Yeah, a little bit wasted.
Precious bounty.
But it's fine. They get the tower, they disengage, but that should also mean that the Radiant can get the mid tier 1 tower as well.
They're probably hoping not to have to commit the Exorcism. Already low. The Brewmaster, so going for the mines before the Axes. What FNATIC's play is going to be with the Brew split down.
Yeah, now a 1k lead for FNATIC. They basically made up 3k gold in 4 minutes. Very efficient map movement. And Lion is finding the blink, trying to... Oh, he caught the Lion!
Back up in the Death Prophet nearby, but the line is going to get split out. Silent and the Hexori only coming out into one. Revenge should be there. For support.
My grand spirits.
Lion for Lion in a sense.
Did force some rotations though to a lane where you don't really want to be at this point.
Troubles.
Midnight still standing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. They're not split. Like, now should be the time to strike. And Raven says, yep, it is. Should be pretty easy with this Metamorphosis. They do have Glyph though.
They can
Them dire buildings are tough as nails for
they're not even
now.
rotating in the
Trouble
Death.
brewing at
They will
Radiant's
clip it
bottom
to delay
tower.
things and look for a deny. It seems can Booty time this.
The dire disown
They
their
got
mid
it.
tower.
Okay.
Yep.
Raven tried to time it, but too many TNC heroes going for the deny.
Yeah.
And more
One of the most important parts of this down.
now, by the way. More
Yeah, he is.
having a great game.
I mean, look at Lash though, 2k ahead of the enemy's Death Prophet. He's getting everything he wants. Oh, he might be setting up for DP down there. With his Jewel Scepter.
Prophet winning one more last creep. Get out of there, it looks like safely. Unless you'll just come in to farm the wave, so. Team looking to make a play right now.
Yep.
Feel like FNATIC, you had that
ไหวบอล
Dyer's
นี่
top
take over,
towers
coming
getting
out of the
beat
lanes
down.
of
เป็นเกมที่ดี
not exactly found a way to capitalize on that, and if anything, it's the opposite. DJ could be in some trouble with the Phoenix. Runs into a Hex and actually gets the dive away. Still alive for now.
Tim's need he needs other heroes to play with him. It's like not the Abaddon Shaman that you're scared of, right? Like it's not really a killer combo. Like he needs to lash with him or morph, maybe even the Brewmaster. But yeah, very close there for
Radiant's
DJ.
mid tower could use a
He's gonna
hand.
stay there with his Tranquil Boots.
Having the low levels in Hex as well as Shackles means Fables aren't really kicking in yet for the Shaman. He's more levels for.
It's a very different skill than we usually see from when China picked it up a lot. They went like 1-2 levels max in the shock and just maxed Hex and Shackle. Wow, how did he die?
The Exorcism, and they actually managed to bring him down. They threw everything. Finger of Death, all the disables, and an Exorcism. They killed it.
There was a line without blink, and he did not morph up. That means he must have gotten surprised by a silence or so. Because I imagine if he morphs up there, there's a decent chance he might live.
A bad
The
place to put
Dire
Exorcism
best
as
do
well, because the
something
T1
about
tower
that
is
bottom
there for them.
tower.
They want to go for that. It looks like they might trade.
He's gone already, though.
Yeah.
No breaking
And
through
Lesh is
the
so
Dire
fast on
structures
DP.
for now.
I don't know if Lesh
Dyer's
is
bottom
expected to
tower's
hit in the
getting
trees. He gets the
beat
Hex out first on the line. They both get the Hex out. And Tron comes running in. The Body Shield
Dire
helps
best
keep
do something
Carmel
about that
alive.
bottom tower.
It's a meta
Run away
committed.
from Meta TV, you gotta maybe run away from him, but Schwann's got nothing on the death property.
That's a split.
The Brewmaster split running at him, and Schwann in trouble. The Yule Scepter being used to dodge the Boulder Toss. That may just save Schwann's life, and now with the Rolling Thunder coming to play Death, is zoning these heroes away, but he's only got the Shadow Shaman. He needs to maybe address Armel. He gets to kill the Shaman. Can they stop Armel from getting these kills? Schwann has just juked him in the trees. This Death Prophet coming up big.
That's 4
Raven is dealing way too much
Two
damage. They need to
down.
disengage.
Your family's power.
Yeah, he juked him while Raven was just putting in the pain.
Oh. Yeah, Lesh was hunting so hard for this Death Prophet. Schwann, without an Exorcism, without any mana, just baited them in.
Yep, stayed alive forever. I mean, he's still alive even. Did not even fall, and they did not get the tower. And it's a Brew Spirit committed. Sure, Meta is also down,
อ้าวเสียวจัง
but
ไหนนี่
TNC
ไหว
was
บอล
definitely
นี่
looking for more there. Still holding the gold lead though. Like, you don't expect Terrorblade to ever be ahead in net worth against the Morphling. I mean, vice versa. Morphling to be ahead against Terrorblade. He should be farming much faster.
FNATIC going for maybe some of these kind of team plays where they try
The
and force
Dire
these
might want
towers
to
and they
mine
haven't
their top
been able
tower.
to win the fights as successfully as TNC have until that one up top. That pulled them ahead a little. Didn't pull them ahead in terms of goal, but at least in terms of the kills. And Raven now going to go back to focus on his own farm with some ancient stacks, but feels like whenever we're looking, it's TNC, they're the ones farming stacks, and now they're the ones
For the Roche pit.
Jay scouted by this observer, and Boomy planted it while smoke, so maybe what's going on. A TB illusion could go in and scout this one, but I don't think they realize. They're just sneaking this.
Yeah, they don't have the best Roche lineup either, but now the illusions are kind of running their way. No?
Killing it slowly, but then it's not being scouted. BJ could use the Fire Spirits here.
They're not... Nah, they're just not aware at all. IceFrog played it very smart too. He looked like he was just taking the rune and disengaging. And it's a free Roche.
At the top, they're showing Leshrac mid.
Rogues won't be stomping around no more thanks to the
We
Dire.
mentioned how some of these SEA teams at times have been playing a little bit maybe cautiously and scared. TNC, 2 games in a row, sneak a Roshan. That's not playing cautiously or scared. That's making bold decisions that you think can win you the game, and it did last game, and it put TNC in a great position this game.
Yeah, this Morphling with Aegis could be the decider in the next team fight. What are we looking at for item progression? Terrorblade just finishes Manta.
Now you can smoke that on the other side of the map. It's Navin on tanking it though. He's got the borrowed time, so if
He
anybody's
doesn't
team
care.
is like, oh, let's fight them.
Another haste rune. Ooh, barely makes it out.
Wait, still has the Yule Scepter. Who's he going to look to go on? They initiate in with the Phoenix. Rolling Thunder fall up from Death. There is going to be
Somebody's on a roll.
the abandoned. They'll cut their losses on TNC to stop the borrowed time. This is a support kill and several ultimates committed.
Yeah, not a
Guess
fight they were
what's
looking for
happening
at
to
all.
Dire's bottom tower?
Good reveal from the smoke though by Abaddon there.
Dire just couldn't save that bottom tower.
Yeah, not too many strong items coming out. DP prioritizing his own game a little more, going into the travels rather than a fast BKB or Kaya Sanj.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged
He's
up.
up first. Electric didn't get the use of the stun. Now they're going to follow with an Earthquake. Jabwood blinking in for this one. Has the Finger of Death. Is the damage going to be there? They get the Supernova on top of Armel. Armel trying to take his way through this, but even with the money, it's not enough. Jabwood paid the price. The Brewmaster split being used to make sure they get the Lion, but the chase is on. They want Bok. His Earth Panda is on the run.
อ้าวเสียวจังไหน
Looks
นี่
pretty damn dead.
Blink Dagger, so yeah, he's got no way out of that Blink Dagger. He's going to go but wishful
Radiant's
thinking.
top tower's in
Yeah.
bad shape.
No chance to make that
Radiant
out of there.
structures
How
must have been
close is this?
fortified.
Oh, he's only 50 gold away to his Agamemnon Scepter. On the Brewmaster, that means next team fight there's going to be 2 splits, which is going to be very, very troublesome. Yeah, you can't really make these plays without Abaddon. Like, he needs to be behind the Leshrac. If he's there, he's going to survive a whole lot longer. Maybe even turn around on that.
Farming. Like, they're trying to get this more feed blade up, so. Not Gabby's fault he necessarily wasn't there. It's just the team who were not all on the same page.
Yeah. Ebit is done in 1,000. And we still got about 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis. So we have like a decent timing. Not the longest, but a timing nonetheless.
Came down bottom, they're looking for him. They get the stun. Grabs gets
Radiant's
wrong. He's like, he's in the
mid-tower's
trees,
coming
but
apart.
he just gets the wrong tree
Dire's
cluster.
top
Now they're looking to
tower.
turn this one around.
You know the drill.
FNATIC, oh,
I
he
missed the stun
split
though.
Earth. Clan again just juking these TNC
Ow,
spells.
ow,
Gab will get the blink up
Radiant's
as well.
mid tower's coming apart.
Oh, they're breaking ankles
The
out here,
Dire
Black.
might want to mine the top tower.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Armel went for the stun before Yules. There was no reason to really. Probably thought
Dire's
he would
top
get him.
tower. You know the drill.
Yeah, gotta play it a little
Radiant's
bit more
bottom
safe
tower
because
ain't
like you
pretty
didn't need the
sad
Yules
right now.
defensively there at all, since there weren't any enemy heroes around.
Dire's
But they will
top
still get
tower's
the
getting
tower
beat
bottom.
down.
Are they trading for top though?
Radiant's bottom
Shaman
tower's done
cancels
for.
TP.
Yeah, that's funny. Ooh, I thought they were going to go for the defense. Instead, they're going to
Dire's
just
top
back off, take
tower.
the outpost.
You know the drill.
And
อ้าวอ้าว
we're
เสี
a
ยวจัง
little
ไหน
scared
นี่
that
ไหวบอลนี่
TNC were going to come and defend this one, but now maybe realizing that's not the case. Clear
Radiant's
out the
bottom
creeps and
tower
that
seen
maybe
better
the Radiant
days.
creep wave can finish off the
Dire's
tier 2
top
tower.
tower's getting beat down.
It's gonna be enough? No.
Nigh range at least. Maybe, yeah, if a TP
The
illusion or
Dire
something was
might
up there,
want
they
to
would have
mine
had
the
it. But
top tower.
we can clear another creep wave and slowly get it.
Yeah. It's not like super important. The outposts don't give that much experience anymore as they used to.
Maybe for Roshan, having the outpost to TP to can matter, but
Yeah. No Roshan yet.
we have to
So
worry
50 seconds left on the Aegis. Ebit is up. They don't want to force anything with this. Doesn't
I
look
think
like
we may
it.
see FNATIC go for. Well, I guess they're waiting on this Skadi. Often you see these teams smoke up when Aegis is expiring, but they are constantly being scouted out. This Dire ward, they just smoked under it. TNC, they know this is coming. The question is, do they try and bait this, take a fight? Like, they're at least considering that. Boomy on the high ground. Selfless support, trying to tank this smoke gang.
Gabby's TPing there too. They definitely want to fight this. They don't have the best initiation.
Shaman may just drop wards down bottom.
Yeah, one more creep until level 12.
TP. Oh, he may get caught. He doesn't have a blink dagger himself. He's in the trees. Jabs.
Too late, 1 second.
If he went for the Hex TP, he would have lived.
Yeah, it's level 4 Hex.
Maybe they can get.
Here comes.
Oh, Lion is out of position. He has no blink dagger either.
Dire's mid tower's having technical
Trying to get his
difficulties.
mana back. Will uses the shadow amir. That may save his life. Have they got detection? Split Earth with the electric. They can throw the Master Split as well, but the Rolling Thunder comes through, pummeling this left track. Well, the Abaddon going to get hit by this one. Another shotgun takes on the dead prophet. The fall down from Raven's there, but the defensive heals from the left. Finishing alive a little bit longer, but the Sunray is not. Absolutely wrecking the backlines. Will take out the Abaddon, but they still maybe don't have the best answer for Gab. It's going to be forced back because of the TV. Instead, it's DJ on the Phoenix being chased down. This Brewmaster split with the axe timing, causing a lot of problems here as TP tries to finish off the split. Won't be successful. Nothing to cancel the TP out. Bloodbath in this middle lane. It was kind of a 3-for-3 in the end since Shaman, I guess, died before the fight, but both teams using all their big ultis.
Yeah, when Roshan responds and potentially 1.5 minutes. You just see this Terrorblade. He's untouched every fight. Like, they're just trying to ignore him, but he's outputting so much damage. And his Pangolier, they don't have an answer to him either. Like, they can't really stop the roll at all.
And it's great because he's stunning everyone. So he stuns up the Leshrac and then he also hits the Abaddon. So those shields and miscores are not saving people like you'd perhaps want them to be.
Yeah, they definitely need BKBs to answer this Pangolier here. Are they building into them? Yeah, Morph is, Lesh is, and Brewmaster is going straight A on disc. I like that quite a bit. You just need to get off your splits.
You mentioned the TP kind of being ignored and putting out all the damage. What did you see from Morphling that fight? Like, as far as we haven't seen much Morphling this tournament, is this looking like a game where Gabby's going to be able to carry things?
I mean, the way he played it was really good. He turned into the Lion, killed the Lion, of course, and then he hacks the DP so he can't dual dodge his shotgun combo, killed the DP. He did all the right things there. Just didn't end up being enough to win the team fight, but I mean, he definitely knows what he's doing. Is he level 30 on Morphling? That's a pretty sick symbol. I think it's level 30.
That's the level 30. Yeah, I think that's level.
I mean, you can definitely tell. Like, the way he's using his spells. Yeah, he instantly morphed back before he got stunned. Then morphed up strength. He knows pretty much everything about this hero. In and out.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah. I wonder how many games it is actually.
You know the drill. Can't do nothing about dire structures right now.
There didn't seem to be a better option than Morphling when we got to that last pick, and Gabby saw the same thing.
Might want to mind Dire's got one
even
last
if it's
top
an
tower.
out of meta comfort pick.
Yep.
And with the 2-0 lead, that's a good time to go for a pick like
จาก
that.
ไหนนี่ไหวบอนี่
Trouble
I mean, a lot
brewing
of
at
players will
Radiant's
just be
bottom
like,
tower.
nah, I don't want to play Morphling unless it's like a free Morphling game, you know?
Dire's
But
top
Gabby
towers
is...
getting beat down.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be caring too much. Even in game 2, it wasn't the perfect PA game, but he still made it work, no
Dire's
problem.
top tower, you know the drill.
Gabby is definitely showing up these qualifiers.
Yeah, and he had to. A lot of strong competition. Leshrac very close to his BKB.
Is that? Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the Rolling Thunder. Is that something that TNC is ready to go with? I mean, they may have to be ready to go because Roche is respawned, so we'll see if either of these teams goes for it. Raven's in there. They may just commit an exorcism. TNC
has to be very careful.
Yeah, this Roche is just dead.
Yeah, no way they're fighting this. I mean, they sort of know, but it's too late already. I think Morph just wants to prioritize his own BKB, because fighting into Rolling Thunder without BKB is so hard, especially with this Talon Pango. It lasts for 13 seconds.
Just
It's
got
ridiculous.
stomped by the Radiant.
Looks like they'll keep
Radiant's
as if they
bottom
might want
tower
to try
seen
and
better
contest it, but that's not
days.
the case.
That's a shot on DP. I liked it quite a bit. When you get Spirit Siphon for 4 seconds, you get feared. It can be pretty impactful against some of these heroes. Also gives you one additional charge, right? Yeah, 5 charges.
So, FNATIC, not going to see them immediately look to utilize this Aegis Sheath. They have to wait for the Exorcism cooldown as well as the meta. Or sorry, not meta, they didn't actually commit, it was just the Exorcism.
Yep, just Exorcism. TB is ready to fight. 200 away from his BKB. And we didn't really talk much about it, but TNC was leading by like 2k before that fight, and ever since then, they made up 7k gold, basically.
Similar to last game with it going back and forth, because this game it was FNATIC who had the lead, like 2-3k gold out of the lanes, and then TNC swung it their way, and now it's back FNATIC's way. But it doesn't feel like either team is making the same kind of maybe overly aggressive throws as we saw a bit in game number 2.
Yeah. And this game is really going to come down to who gets the better initiation. They both have instant blink hexes, Shaman and Lion. This game is just going to be purely decided on who goes first and on what target.
I hear that, and I'm hearing we're going to see some A on disc then. I already see a few queued up.
Yep. A on disc every game.
Well. You're playing against Hex as a core, you want Aeon Disc. Tango has one, Death Prophet has one queued up.
Yep.
Also,
Brewmaster already has his as well.
Brewmaster has it, so. Yep, all these cores with
อ้าว
Aeon
เจ้า
Disc.
จังไหนนี่
DJ
ไหวบอนี่
Queued up
Alright,
and this.
carry on.
There's definitely something that will be done to this item. I'm not quite sure what, but
Haste!
it's a little too good. And by a little, I mean a lot.
I wouldn't mind. I like the concept of the item. It just seems too cheap. Like I imagine, even make the build up different, so it costs like an extra like 1,000-1,500 gold and gives like some stats maybe. Like that.
I just don't like the concept of it reducing or basically removing all the damage. Like if it reduced it by like half, I would be on board with
Dire
it.
might wanna
But it's
mine
basically
the
a
top
free
tower.
blink out, a free everything. It's like a mini Oracle ulti, right? Tim's. Raven has Aegis. Can they kill this guy? Well, not anymore. Morph TP'd out already. Finished his BKB. I think he's happy to fight now. Just a question, do you want to fight into a Terrorblade Aegis? It's not an easy fight.
You mentioned these fights coming down to execution. Is there key target for either side, or like what is the execution that both teams are looking for to win these fights?
I think the best
Radiant's
targets to
mid
kill
tower could use a
for
hand.
TNC are definitely DP and Phoenix. I think it's going to be very hard to kill Dev with his Aeon Disc, so...
He's fishing. He's right next to.
Jabs.
He's-
Ooh. They're breathing
อ้าว
each other's
อ้าว
air.
เจ้าจังไหนนี่ไหวบอนี่
6
He's
feet,
like,
guys,
where's
6
that
feet.
smell coming from?
That's not socially distant. Don't like that here. And Jabs walks off. That's a bit better, Jabs.
The Dire best do
Thank
something
you
about
for-
that bottom tower.
Abiding the law. DP is a little bit alone
Radiant's
up there,
top tower
but
is
Shaman
hurting.
is nowhere near.
Guess what's
He's
happening
better
to
than
Dire's
Exile.
bottom tower?
They need Shaman to set up for these kills. Otherwise, no chance. He was
อ้าว
trying to
อ้าว
bottom.
เจ้าจังไหนนี่
The Dire
ไหวบอนี่
gave up the
Fnatic
bottom
was just like,
tower.
alright, we're pushing the whole lane
Radiant's
with
top
everybody.
tower is in bad shape.
It's Courier. Kind of reverse back a little
Bottom
soon, but they're going high ground. They say we're ready. Exorcism plus TB with an Aegis. It's time to go. They still have a couple minutes left on this Aegis, so want this tower.
How hard do they want to commit? No meta has been committed so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised no Glip. It was used some time ago, so see. To find a way to defend this one. Yapping in the tree, trying to find an E-Blade target. There is an Aeon Disc on Pangolier though, so Death can't really be blown up here. And it looks like FNATIC just gonna disengage. And with 60, it's an Arcane Rune Death Prophet. That's why they threw this Exorcism. There will still be a window. They'll still have like a minute left on this Aegis when Exorcism back up. Maybe more like
They're smoking out right away.
Fight while it's down. I imagine they would have seen this Arcane Rune.
Yeah,
I know that
I'm sure they were aware of it.
Career flying over. That's going to kind of reveal where TNC are. Question is, do they want to go onto from low ground to high ground? That seems incredibly risky. Bok is leading.
Ooh, Bok is going.
Brewmaster going to pop out of the smoke here. Has the primal split. FNATIC Death immediately throws the roller back in the silence bomb is there. Armel gets the BKB. Death turns the Aeon Disc. Can they blow up Bok? No, he gets off the primal split. Armel, he's dying to the men of TB. Does TB have the damage with the Scotty? So he should be fine. The BKB going to wear off soon. He's
Dire's
like
mid
it's thrown up in here. The Spiderwing. Armel, he gets out of there. TB can't finish him off. Raven needs a sub to target too.
That's
He's
four
getting a
in a
bit low
row.
here. Has got the Phoenix if he needs it. Will take out Boomy and the left. He end up getting chased down. They got three. They're looking
Gabby got caught out.
be in trouble on the look. Anything to stop his TP? No. He gets out, but they may get Bok now instead. He threw the second ultimate. Even if they don't get him, he's got no primal splits left. Looks like he will get his way out of there.
Ooh,
Dire's mid tower
it's
won't
just-
last much longer.
We spoke about it during the draft.
No
Like
breaking through
fighting
the Dire's
into these
structures
heroes
for
is
now.
so incredibly difficult. You
Ow,
can't
ow,
fight into
so
Supernova.
Why
Dire's
bottom?
mid tower is having technical difficulties. Have fun trying to bust down Radiant structures
This is going to be a
now.
lane of Rex, it feels like.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
TB was pushing the mid tower. They're just gonna go middle right after this. I feel like.
Dire's bottom rank.
From Abaddon, but there we go. They'll get the full bottom lane.
The
What's
farm
the call? Do they
farewell
want
to
to
the
push their
Dire's
luck?
bottom
I
barracks.
feel like they're having some slight flashbacks from last game. Like, what happened last game when we went for a second lane? But no, it's fine. Oh wait, no, it's not. They're thinking twice about this one. And they'll play it safe. I don't mind this, Black. Like I think they, like you say, they probably could have, but Aegis was expiring, no metamorphosis, and last game things went pretty south for them when they went for that second lane.
Yeah, just wait for your cooldowns. You are super far ahead. There's no reason to risk anything. If anything, TNC has to be the one making a risky play. But just prepare for that. Exorcism 90 seconds. Meta is going to be up by that time as well. Like the overwhelming amount of team fight on the Radiant side is just too much to deal with for the Dire. There's just nothing they can do, really.
Oh, for my tongue.
That's what we kind of, highlighted in the draft when we saw some of these heroes. We're just like, definitely some question marks about how TNC win a team fight. We haven't even really seen Super come into play because these team fights just...
They caught the DP!
That's how you win a team fight. You blow her up with an E-Blade. EP goes down, dead for 75. Gabby's stuck in the woods, but we'll have a waveform. Fine.
Gabby's like, I don't want to leave.
Like Shaman should be able to deny the wards from full.
Yeah, or make one go into the ground so you can walk through and then back up again.
Shaman definitely needs something. I feel like this hero has not been changed ever, really.
Yeah.
The last change I remember this hero had was when Aftershock used to be single target, right? Like way back when? Like 1 days maybe?
Yeah, and the constant buff to his base damage.
So that's not a change to the hero. I mean, like, I'm talking like, you know...
Oh, you mean like a fundamental change?
Yeah. Like a new...
Oh,
like
yeah.
His act is one of the... He was like, this was boring acts. They have the finger of death. They want to blow up this ledge track, stop them getting the BKB off. The right-click damage is there. Raven first blows and blows him up. They're doing this without the death prophet. They're just catching TNC by surprise. The Abaddon's trying to come in to save the day, but it's too late with the Lesh already dead. Raven BKB TP's out. And they just killed Lesh without death prophet. That was ballsy from FNATIC.
In the enemy base as
เจ้าจังไหน
well.
นี่ไหวบอนี่
Yeah, it's not something you see every day, but they get out without losing anybody also.
Yeah.
So both mid lanes going down in the end. And now DP. Arcane Rune again.
Oh, beautiful. For FNATIC at least.
Beautiful. Go, my
I don't think it's beautiful. The death prophet does. I'm not trying to be unbiased.
Yeah, of course, of course. We all know what
There's
you're
a
thinking.
DD outside the Roach pit. It's like, oh yeah. So that person's happy, but
Beautiful.
not me.
Of course, you would never be happy. You're very unbiased.
At least
You don't want TNC to win because of your compendium.
Actually, I'm biased, Black. I predicted TNC. I got to be able to brag that I predicted the right team.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The bragging rights are always there.
What do we got? DJ has a ward. He's going to throw the sentry out first. Check that there's nothing on the high ground.
Interesting that he did that, because he has a gem.
I guess drop the gem on the ground for that flying vision, right?
Yeah. But of course, he's getting a bit older, so... You know.
Used to be.
Yeah. I know that
He's the guy
feeling very
that's
well.
been on this FNATIC team the longest. Maybe like
A couple of years now, right?
2007, maybe 2017. Longer, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years, right?
Did he ever leave since he joined first?
Oh, maybe he took a break or something. That's a good question.
Rolling on Gabby.
My DJ history, yep. Gets them all strength off, and it feels like Death is just looking and prodding, fading out some spells.
Yeah, I mean, Rolling Thunder is such low cooldown. It doesn't really matter.
It's going to look like a kind of nothing ultimate, but the one thing is Roche could have been coming up, but he's got a minute before they have to worry about Roche. And of course, Rolling Thunder for a potential Roche fight is always...
Yeah, one of the scariest abilities in the entire game. I'm just trying to see what like the game-breaking power spike could be for Morphling. He's got a Skadi now. It just doesn't feel like he can combat the Terrorblade at all during this like supernova exorcism flying around. There's just too much stuff going on that Morphling can't really focus anyone.
Jadal's TV, his damage output is getting out of control. Doesn't have the Satanic here. That's kind of more the defensive item, and he doesn't feel like he's ever needed this defense buff. He's yet to die and never really feels like he's in any danger of dying.
1.1 second Crypt Swarm cooldown.
I'm like, what's going on here? Does he have a refresher? I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah, talent is pretty insane.
Yeah. teams hovering around this Roshan pit. The TB Illusion gets to scout it, whereas TNC have a bit of a trickier time scouting Rosh.
They could be doing Roche soon because somebody has to go bottom and defend that lane. Courtesy of the Rex push, of course.
And FNATIC see that, which is perhaps why they smoke now. They're looking for that jump.
Straight to the pit.
This Leshrac bottom. There is an outpost to launch the TP to, but they're just going to look to probably take this with Exorcism. Maybe you don't want to hold on to these ultimates. They're probably saving it for a fight. Fox throws out the Cinder Brew.
Yeah, to be fast though, to be decisive.
Going in, he gets silence, so he has got nail on this. They may just ignore him while they finish off the road. No, they want bomb, but he does get off the split. Oh no! TB gets hexed up, but this TB is a tanky fella. You're not bringing him down, and he's just going to focus the Roche. He needs to maybe deal with these Serpent Wards. You don't want to see Roshan get denied, or stolen, or an Aegis denied, or whatever it may be. So yeah, clear the Serpent Wards. TNC getting the hell out of there. We're starting to see why Morphling is perhaps not picked so much, it feels like. This is a free farm Morphling, but it's not doing much against the 5-man teamfight lineup.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. Picking Morph into line can easily end up like this because Morph always wants to wave in and shotgun someone, which means you're in prime position to get hexed by the line. That's what happened. He couldn't get off his BKB, and yeah, this game seems all but over. 30 seconds. No exorcism though.
Dire structures looking fortified.
There's some hope to defend the last lane at least.
I feel like it's in a pretty good place. They're tipping their buddy Raven. He's the guy that TNC were tipping. The former TNC carry player. Played with them through numerous TIs. Looking to get one back on his former teammates here. They are down 2-0, so this is just the first step of several for FNATIC if they want to make their way to the international, but first have to get this one game.
Yeah, but it's about time though. Like after these 2 defeats, they really need this win to boost morale as well.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's going to demoralize TNC. I think draft-wise, TNC are probably going to look at this and be like, yeah, we made some mistakes. Play-wise, you know, wasn't our best game, wasn't our worst, but like you say, morale-wise, this will definitely boost FNATIC up.
Yeah, but if you just look at the chess game of draft, TNC also lost that. They outplayed, but they can't be happy with the draft they've had.
TNC trying to perhaps make something happen. They get the Hex out onto the Terrorblade. Maybe not the best target if they can't burst him down. Doesn't look like they've got the damage. The Rolling Thunder coming through. They're just going to sun up Tim's on the Shadow Shaman. He's the one that was trying to lock down the TV, but they just had no damage at all. Shaman dead. Gabby getting sunned up. They can't move. Thunder. This Mango is just wreaking havoc here. Gabby going to go for a normal play of his own. Using the Morph. He turns around with an E-Blade, but that does no damage at all. The Jap, he's got the Aeon Disc to keep himself alive. Death with an Aeon Disc of his own. The Pango still surviving his way through this one. Armel's flash. Not Phoenix. Klein's Death Prophet has an Exorcism now. This could spell trouble for TNC, who's now lost their Morph, and they have to fight into an Exorcism. They need to get Armel out of here. Not sure they can. They've lost the line. It looks like Armel will just barely get back to safety, so don't perhaps get the team fight they were hoping with the Exorcism. Phil goes down, and that'll kind of even things up at 2 kills apiece, but that Exorcism was a very short-lived one.
Yeah, fight. I think you can't really ask for anything better if you're TNC with this goal disadvantage. And any trade that you take at this point is probably good for you. But yeah, this Terrorblade is just unstoppable. And that was without Exorcism, as we said. Absolutely brutal. Terrorblade is 13k gold ahead of the Morphling. Morph is itemizing into an E-Blade. A Swift Blink. The thing is, Morph is also a hero that can't build into Nullifier at all. While his entire kit is about bursting down heroes. You can't do that against Aeon Disc. It's just not possible. We have seen there, he shotgunned the line, he was like, oh, alright, I got Aeon Disc. I don't care.
Things will slow down a bit now on the TNC side, but FNATIC
Well, you say that.
high ground again. They've
Yeah.
travel on Death Prop. They're playing around this top lane here. What can they find?
It's a TB25 as well, so it's the meta attack range.
Illusion!
The Flicker on Abaddon. It's a great item. I'm surprised to see that it's on the Abaddon. Maybe not feeling they've got a bad target, and with the TB meta range, it's going to be hitting this high ground from the low ground. Death Prophet TP's into the creeps. They force an A on this one, the Brew. Now he's going to be careful when he initiates. May just have to use that primal split from afar. I'm not trying to clear out some illusions with the pulse of the
Dire's
Shiver's
top
card. They've got the
tower's
Sunray
gone.
heal. Time in the trees is the Morphling looking for a target. Raven's just going to BKB. He gets the fear out onto the left track as well. And that left track, Armel, he can't be kept alive. He just melts. He will lose his first life.
No meta.
He's got
No BKB also.
coming back without meta. There's going to be a fear. Gabby with the stolen fear. Looking to take out Raven. It looks like Raven will get forced up back to safety. Small play goes to work out. Raven uses the Sunder. Turns this one around on the Morphling. Morphling is dead, but now there's no more Sunder. And Armel on this flesh. Actually get out of there with the spider legs. He's on his own. He's got a shield to try and bail him out here, but they've lost the Shaman as well, so no one can control the play around his Armel. Still on the run. We'll finally get caught and chase down that forward dead. And TNC are going to call GG. We're going to a game 4. Not so easy, say
Dire's
FNATIC.
top rags is in trouble.
Yeah, finally it's time to
That's
fly.
a win for Radiant.
Draft again, very good. Execution this time around was also very good. They